Rise to through, verb. To become important, successful, or rich. She rose to prominence in microbiology after publishing her first paper. Ritual, a noun. An activity or a set of actions always done the same way, sometimes religious. Washing hands before experiments became a ritual in the laboratory. Rival, verb. To be good enough to compete with someone or something else. The new analytical method rivals existing techniques in accuracy. Rivalry, a noun. When two people or things are rivals. There was a healthy rivalry between the two research teams. Roar, make noise, verb. To make a loud, deep sound. The engines roared as the drone took off. Roar, shout, verb. To say something in a very loud voice. The teacher roared instructions to the students during the fire drill. Roar, a noun. A loud, deep sound. The roar of the centrifuge filled the laboratory. Rob SB of STH, a verb. To take something important away from someone. The virus robbed the patient of their immune defenses. Rock, verb. To move backwards and forwards or from side to side. The pendulum rocked gently during the experiment. Rock the boat, idiom. To change a situation in a way that causes problems. Introducing untested protocols might rock the boat in a highly regulated lab. Rock the boat, idiom. To do or say something that changes a situation causing problems. He did not want to rock the boat by questioning the senior scientist's method. Rocket, weapon, noun. A tube-shaped weapon that carries a bomb. The rocket was used in a physics demonstration to study propulsion. Rocky, relationship. A rocky relationship has problems and may not last. The collaboration had a rocky start due to miscommunication between labs. Roll your eyes. To move your eyes so that they are looking up, usually to show surprise or disapproval. She rolled her eyes at the implausible explanation of the results. Roll your eyes. To move your eyes looking up, usually to show surprise or disapproval. Students rolled their eyes when the lab assistant repeated the instructions unnecessarily. Romantic ideas. Thinking that things are better than they really are. The idea of instant scientific success is often romantic and unrealistic. Rosy, pink. Rosy faces are a healthy pink color. The newborn had rosy cheeks indicating good circulation. Rosy, positive. Very positive and happy. The outlook for the research project was rosy after successful preliminary results. Rot, verb. If substances rot, they decay, or if something rots them, it makes them decay. Fruits left unrefrigerated begin to rot within days. Roughly, forcefully. Forcefully or violently. The samples were roughly shaken before analysis. Roughly, without care. Without taking a lot of care to make something perfect. The assistant roughly prepared the slides, leading to poor imaging. Round, drinks, noun. Drinks that you buy for a group. The team shared a round of drinks to celebrate finishing the project. Round, events, noun. A group of events that is part of a series. The lab scheduled a round of experiments over the week. Round of applause. When people clap. The keynote lecture concluded with a round of applause from the audience. Round of applause is noun. When people clap. The scientist received a round of applause after presenting her findings. Route, method, noun. A method of achieving something. The preferred route to synthesize the compound involved 3 steps. Routine, boring. Done regularly and very boring. Daily pipetting became a routine task for the students. Rub it in, verb. To upset someone by talking about something they want to forget. The assistant rubbed it in by pointing out the mistake repeatedly. Ruin, losing everything, noun. When someone loses everything. The lab fire caused the ruin of all experimental samples. Rule, leader, noun. When someone is in control of a country. The ruler enforced strict regulations on chemical handling in the country. Rule out SBSTH. To decide or state that something is impossible or unsuitable. The committee ruled out unverified data from the analysis. Ruling, noun. An official legal decision usually by a judge. The court's ruling affected funding allocations for scientific research. Run around. To be very busy doing many things. The lab technician ran around preparing samples for multiple experiments. Run riot, idiom. To behave in a noisy, violent, or wild way without being controlled. The chemicals seemed to run riot in the unsealed container. Run riot, idiom, noun. To behave in a noisy, violent, or wild way without being controlled. During the open lab session, students ran riot experimenting with multiple materials. Run STH along, over, through STH. To move something along, over, or through something else. The liquid was run through the chromatography column for purification. Run the risk of STH. To do something although something bad might happen. By skipping safety procedures, the lab technician ran the risk of contamination. Run the risk of STH. To do something although something bad might happen. By skipping calibration, the scientist ran the risk of inaccurate measurements. Run through STH. To repeat something in order to practice or check it. The instructor ran through the protocol with the students before starting. Run up against STH. To begin to experience problems or difficulties. The team ran up against a shortage of reagents mid-experiment. Run wild. If a child behaves freely without control. During the open lab session, students ran wild exploring the equipment. Run wild. If someone's imagination is uncontrolled. His imagination ran wild when designing the new experiment setup. Run wild, verb. If someone's imagination runs wild, they are not able to control their thoughts. During the brainstorming session, ideas ran wild. Run wild, verb. If someone, especially a child, runs wild, they behave as they want and no one controls them. The laboratory interns ran wild in the break room after exams. Running, control, noun. The activity of controlling or looking after something. The running of the incubator system requires constant monitoring. Rush, activity, noun. A lot of things happening or a lot of people trying to do something. There was a rush of students trying to use the lab equipment before closing. Rush, movement, noun. When something suddenly moves somewhere quickly. The liquid made a rush down the tube during the transfer. Ruthless. Not caring if you hurt or upset others to get what you want. The ruthless approach of ignoring safety protocols caused lab accidents. Sacred, important. Too important to be changed or destroyed. The original lab notes are considered sacred and must be preserved. Sadden, verb. To make someone feel sad or disappointed. It saddened the scientist to see her experiments fail repeatedly. Saddle, a noun. A leather seat that you put on a horse to ride it. The rider adjusted the saddle before starting the field study. Saddle, verb. To put a saddle on a horse. He saddled the horse before transporting samples across the farm. Saddle is be with STH. To give someone a job or problem causing difficulty. The manager saddled the new intern with tedious paperwork. Safe and sound. Completely safe and without injury or damage. All lab specimens were transported safe and sound. Safe and sound, a noun. Completely safe and without injury or damage. The samples arrived safe and sound after the transport. Sail, material, noun. A large piece of material fixed to a pole on a boat. The boat sail was made of durable synthetic fabric. Sample, examine, noun. A small amount of a substance collected to examine. The technician took a blood sample for analysis. Sample, experience, a verb. To experience a place or activity, often for the first time. Visitors sampled the experimental procedures during the open day. Sanction, noun. A punishment for not obeying a rule or law. The lab received a sanction for failing safety inspections. Sane. Not suffering from mental illness. Maintaining a sane approach in stressful research environments is important. Sarcastic. Using sarcasm. The lab assistant's sarcastic remark confused the new students. Saying a noun. A famous phrase giving advice about life. The saying a measure twice, cut once is often applied in experiments. SBSTH at large. People or things in general. Scientists at large contributed to the open source database project. SBSTH in question. The person or thing being discussed or examined. The chemical in question was found to react violently with water. SBSTH of note. Someone or something important. The institute is a center of note. SB's attention, mind, thoughts. Etc. wander, verb. If someone's attention or mind, etc. wanders, they start thinking about one subject when they should be thinking about a different subject. SB's best, last, only hope, countable, uncountable or singular noun. The best, last, only person or thing that can help you and make you succeed. The new catalyst was the team's last hope for completing the reaction successfully. SB's breadth of experience and knowledge, interest. Number of different things someone has done. Her breadth of experience in genetics and biochemistry allowed cross-disciplinary research. SB's line of reasoning. The logical process behind a belief. Her line of reasoning was supported by statistical evidence. SB's looks. A person's physical appearance. Genetic and environmental factors both influence a person's looks. SB's rise to fame or power, noun. When someone becomes very famous or powerful. The scientist's rise to fame was due to her groundbreaking research in genetics. SB's whereabouts, a noun. The place where someone or something is. The wildlife tracker recorded the wolf's whereabouts daily. Scan, look, verb. To look around an area quickly to find something. He scanned the lab bench for missing equipment. Scan, a medical, noun. A medical examination using a special machine. The MRI scan provided detailed images of the patient's brain. Scar. To cause a scar. The experiment left a small scar on the sample surface. Scarcely. Only just. The reagent had scarcely enough concentration for the reaction. Scarcity, a noun. When there is not enough of something. The scarcity of chemicals delayed the experiment schedule. Scare the hell life, living daylights, etc. out of SB, verb. To make someone very frightened. The sudden fire alarm scared the students out of their wits. Scattered. Covering a wide area. The pollen grains were scattered across the microscope slide. Scenario, noun. A description of a situation or a situation that may develop in the future. The researchers considered a worst-case scenario for contamination. Scene, argument, noun. When people have a loud argument or show strong emotions in public. The lab witnessed a scene when two assistants argued over equipment use. Skeptical. Doubting that something is true or useful. The scientist was skeptical about the claimed results. Schooling, a noun. Education at school. Proper schooling in laboratory safety is essential for all students. Scope, opportunity, noun. The opportunity to do something. The project provided scope for developing advanced analytical skills. Scramble down, out, up, etc. To move or climb quickly but with difficulty. The student scrambled up the stairs to access the rooftop observatory. Scrap, old, noun. Old cars and machines not now needed but reusable for parts. Old lab equipment went to scrap for recycling. Scrap, small piece, noun. A small piece or amount of something. A scrap of tissue was preserved for genetic analysis. Scrap, the verb. To not continue with a plan or idea. The experiment was scrapped due to contamination issues. Script, letters, noun. A set of letters used for writing a particular language. The ancient manuscript used a unique script for documentation. Scroll up, down, through, etc. To move text or an image on a screen. Students scrolled through the digital lab manual to find instructions. Scruffy. Dirty and untidy. The scruffy appearance of the lab bench indicated lack of cleaning. Scrutiny, a noun. When you examine something carefully. The data underwent scrutiny before publication. Seal, close entrance, verb. To close an entrance or container so that air or liquid cannot enter or leave it. The laboratory container was sealed to prevent contamination. Seal, close letter, verb. To close a letter or parcel by sticking the edges together. The scientists sealed the envelope containing confidential results. Seal off STH or seal STH off. To prevent people from entering an area because it is dangerous. The contaminated room was sealed off to prevent exposure. Seat, politics, noun. A position in a parliament or other group that makes official decisions. The new representative won a seat in the National Assembly. Seat first 12 or 200 etc. If a building, room, or vehicle seats a particular number of people. The lecture hall seats 200 students comfortably. Secluded. If a place is quiet and not near people. The research station is secluded to minimize environmental disturbances. Second, product, noun. Something sold cheaply because it is damaged or not in perfect condition. The lab purchased second-hand microscopes for practice sessions. Second, third, etc. day a week running. If something happens on that number of regular occasions without changing. The experiment continued for 3 days running without interruption. Secure, not fail. Not likely to fail. The chemical reaction was secure under controlled conditions. Security, confidence, noun. Confidence about yourself and your situation. Self-security in handling dangerous reagents is critical in the lab. Sedentary. Spending a lot of time sitting down or not being active. A sedentary lifestyle can affect laboratory researchers' health. Seduce, persuade, verb. To persuade someone to do something they would not normally do. Marketing can seduce participants into joining optional experiments. Seduce, sex, a verb. To persuade someone to have sex, especially someone young. Not applicable for scientific informative context. See, believe, verb. To believe that something will happen. She sees a positive outcome for the next experiment. See eye to eye, with SB, idiom. If two people see eye to eye, they agree with each other. The two researchers see eye to eye on the interpretation of the results. See eye to eye, with SB, idiom. If two people agree with each other. The research partners saw eye to eye on the project methodology. See red, idiom. To become very angry. The scientists saw red when a colleague misrepresented the results in a presentation. See red, idiom. To become very angry. The technician saw red when the results were accidentally deleted. See sense. To realize you are wrong or have been behaving stupidly. After reviewing the data, the student saw sense and corrected the method. See sense. To realize you are wrong or have been behaving stupidly. After a failed experiment, the student saw sense and changed the method. See that. To make sure something happens. The supervisor saw that all samples were properly labeled. Seek, try to do, the verb. To try to do something. Researchers seek to understand the mechanisms behind the phenomenon. Seize, place, verb. To take control of a place suddenly by military force. The wildlife reserve was seized temporarily for study purposes. Self-assurance, a noun. The quality of being confident about yourself. Self-assurance helps scientists present findings clearly. Self-assured. Confident about yourself. The self-assured student explained the experiment without hesitation. Self-awareness, noun. Good knowledge and judgment about yourself. Self-awareness allows researchers to recognize biases in experiments. Self-control, noun. The ability to control emotions and actions. Self-control is important when handling dangerous chemicals. Self-discipline, noun. The ability to make yourself do things you do not want to do. Self-discipline ensures timely completion of long-term experiments. Self-made. Rich because you have earned a lot of money yourself. The self-made entrepreneur funded a research lab independently. Self-reliance, noun. The quality of not needing help from others. Self-reliance is essential for field researchers working alone. Self-reliant. Able to do things yourself without depending on others. The self-reliant student set up the entire experiment independently. Self-respect, noun. The feeling of pride in yourself and your character. Maintaining self-respect encourages ethical conduct in research. Self-sufficient. Having everything that you need yourself and not needing help. A self-sufficient laboratory can function without external assistance. Sell an idea, plan, a verb. To persuade someone that an idea or plan is good. The researcher sold the idea of a new study design to the team. Sell like hot cakes, idiom. To be bought quickly and in large numbers. The lab kit sold like hot cakes at the science fair. Send, make happen, verb. To cause someone or something to do a particular thing. The software update sent the system into automatic mode. Send for SB. To send someone a message asking them to come. The professor sent for the assistant to explain the procedure. Send shivers so shiver down your spine, idiom. To make you feel afraid or excited. The unexpected reaction sent shivers down the student's spines. Send shivers so shiver down your spine, idiom. To make you feel afraid or excited. The sight of the lightning storm sent shivers down the researcher's spines. Send shivers so shiver down your spine, idiom. To make you feel afraid or excited. The sudden loud noise sent shivers down the student's spines.